All right, is that visible?
Yes, your screen is visible now. So guys,
Okay, can you see my face?
yeah.
All right.
So Akriti, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Good evening. This is Akriti from Network Kings. Can I get a quick hi from everyone so that I know you all are active?
Hey, hello.
Hi, Akriti.
Hi, hi, how are you all doing?
We are good.
Okay. All right. So I know a lot of you guys must be coming back from your jobs and you must be tired, but let's make sure that we are making this session exciting and engaging. So, first of all, welcome to the IT Professional Masters Program, aka you must be knowing it with the Windows Server one, but I'll tell you, I'll come back to that point later on. So, let's start with a quick question, okay? Hmm. So there's just a quick quiz around for you, and let's see how many of you are of the same opinion. So who would you prefer if you want to learn from someone? A simple trainer who's been teaching for, let's say 5 years or 6 years, and he's just been teaching, or someone who is an engineer and who is going to a tech giant company every day and he has the hands-on experience. So if your choice is a trainer, you can simply drop a thumbs up in the chat. And if it's an engineer, you can quickly drop a smiley emoji in the chat. Let's see how many of you have the same opinion. Okay, we've got Shubham with a smiley. Come on, guys. Okay, Ajay is of the same opinion as well. What about others? Can either drop a thumbs up or a smiley. Okay, we know as well. All right. So there's no one who wants to learn from a trainer. So I believe everyone wants to learn from an engineer. Okay. So anyone else who wants to give their, take on that? Okay. Interesting. Well, even I would add a smiley there. So yeah, the best part is that we have got engineers for you. You can learn directly from engineers here. So I would introduce you to our trainer, aka engineer, who is going to take over the complete Windows Server program for you. So he is Mr. Sandeep, and he's been working for over 8 years as a senior cloud operations engineer. Okay, so if you're guys with me, if that's exciting for you, you can drop a quick thumbs up in the chat. Come on, guys, let's make it interesting. Anyone? Okay, I believe no one is here who agrees with me that you want to learn from Mr. Sandeep, who has been working as an engineer. All right, I've got one of the thumbs up. Okay, so let me quickly introduce today's agenda for the session that you must be having expectations that what you're going to learn today, right? So first of all, we are going to cover Microsoft Windows Server 2025. So of course, if you're looking to upskill or you are switching your jobs or anything, it's really important to have a futuristic vision. So on that note, we are going to cover the 2025 Windows Server. And next up, we are also going to learn about the Microsoft Azure Cloud, because of course, cloud is important. So we'll cover the introductory part for these two so that you get a gist what is going to be covered in the complete course. Okay. So yeah, the in the first slide only, I introduced you guys to the IT Professional Masters program. So what is it exactly? Okay, so if you say you want to switch a job or you want to learn just about Windows Server, that is good. Okay, that might land you a 4 to 5 LPA job. But what if I tell you there's actually an option, a better option for you in a course that covers CCNA, which is basically Cisco's one of the most popular certifications, and it helps you start and kickstart your career in networking. And then we also cover the Windows Server, and at the same time, you get to learn all the basics of Linux so that you can work with the OS and you can manage all the computers in an organization, right? So that is when we have presented and we have carefully curated the IT Professional Masters program, okay? So this course is actually going to be for 6 months. But the best part is you can either enroll all of them simultaneously, right? So you can enroll in CCNA and MCSA and Red Hat at the same time, okay? Or there's another option that you can do, you can cover CCNA in first 2 months, and later on you can go to MCSA for the next 2 months, and the third one you can go with the Linux. So it completely depends on you, but actually doing it as a complete package is going to make you land a really good job and high-paying job. Because you know what? The recruiters, almost 90% of the recruiters in the industry, they look for certifications. So that is where we come and help you, because our trainers or our engineers are actually going to make you prepare for those certifications or examinations as well, so that you can, bring that quality to the table when you are actually applying for jobs. And on top of that, you'll also get virtual labs, and they are one of the biggest virtual labs. So you can access them 24/7. At the same time, you will get the recordings of the sessions as well. So if you sometimes miss a live session, you can obviously get the recordings and for the live one as well. So why not? Everyone would love to become jack of all trades. So this is what recruiters ask for as well. So you can consider this program for sure. All right. So yeah, if it's networking, we always have offers for you. So here's a current offer that's going on. Okay. So this offer, I may say that this offer is going to get over by this weekend, Saturday. Okay. So you will get over 13,000 off on all our master's program. So if you guys are on your, mobile phones, you can quickly take a screenshot, or if you're on your, PCs or laptops, you can just scan this QR and would quickly take you to the link. So what I'll do is I'll quickly drop the link to our website so that you can fill the form. As you can see on the screen, you might be able to spot the form. So you just have to fill the form. Course interested, you can add the IT Professional Masters program, and then our career counselors will connect to you, and then you can just simply, or you can go to WhatsApp and you can simply avail the 13,000 rupees of offer on all our master's program, of course, including the IT Professional Master's program, right? Okay, so I would just take a pause for some time so that you can guys, scan this QR, or you can just quickly, take a screenshot. And once you're done with it, you can just quickly drop a thumbs up in the chat so that I can move to the next slide. How is it done? Yeah, it's okay. You guys can, unmute yourself for some time. Just confirm me that you guys have, you're ready to take up the discount, or you guys have screenshotted it, or you have like scanned the QR. Okay. Right, so I'll move on to the next slide then. Okay, so since 2013, we have transformed over 40,000 careers. Yes. So some of the testimonials from the networking domain only, we have got some of them. So you can see it on the screen, right? So we have some of the testimonials and you can check them out. So Yeah, that's all me. So I'm going to tell Sandeep to take over. So yeah, Sandeep, is he here?
Yeah, thanks, Akriti.
All
Thanks for
right,
the wonderful introduction.
welcome. All right,
Thank you so
thank you.
much.
Welcome. Yeah. All right, guys. You can start learning from Mr. Sandeep. Yeah.
All right, guys. Hi, everyone. Good evening. So this is your trainer, Sandeep. And as Akriti told, I have around 8 years of experience in IT. And right now I'm working as a senior cloud operations engineer in one of MNC. And I used to work on both cloud and the on-prem data centers, right? So in MCSA, we are going to learn about servers. Basically, we are going to cover on-prem data center, like how to configure the server, how to manage the services in your on-prem environment, right? And then we are going to work on Azure as well, where Azure is a cloud technology to, in that case, you need not to build a data center in your office. You can just use the Microsoft data center. I will just give you a view. I will give you just glimpse of that Microsoft data center, how it looks like, and you will be able to understand, right? So before we start, so I just need to get one idea. So anyone, do you know that why servers are being used in the organizations?
In order to save data,
Okay,
company's data.
okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
To host the
And
services,
secure data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
to
yeah,
host
just
some
give me your
application.
ideas. Okay, good, good. Anything else? Okay, anyways. So I'm assuming that you have a bit knowledge of server, right? That why it is being used. Correct. Yes. If I need to host a website, right? So you're able to access Hotstar on your a laptop or on your mobile phones, right? Same. You are able to access other Netflix application, and even you can take example of networking also, right? So these websites you are able to access on your laptop. How? That is all because of server. So what is server? You can break it. Server, it is a kind of, it is basically a computer which is going to which is going to have a huge compute power, and which has the capabilities to serve multiple kind of services. Either it would be a DNS, either it would be a domain controller, or it would be a file server, right? Or it would be a WSUS server if, let's say, you want to do patching in your organization. So in that case, server has the capability to do all these things, right? So let me just share my screen, and I'll be covering that what and all topics are going to be there in this whole module in MCSA, as well as I will let you know that in Azure also what and all topics we are going to cover, right? So hopefully you all are aware that Microsoft has introduced its new server operating system, which is Server 2025. It is not being used in production. It is just a preview. It is just in a testing phase for now. Microsoft has not released it worldwide, but it has a preview for now. Means you will be able to see that how Server 2025 looks like and what and all its capabilities are. Obviously, if it is 2025, it is going to be a updated version of operating system if you will compare it with 2016, 2019, 2022, and then 2025. Right. So 2025 is the latest version of Windows Server operating system, which has multiple capabilities, right? So it looks like a Windows 11 operating system. If you will talk about GUI, right? Its graphical interface is like Windows 11 only, but it has multiple capabilities that can be performed, that can be configured in the organization. Okay. So the topics that we will be covering in this whole module is going to be, just give me a moment. Yeah, I think it's already there. Yeah. So first of all, we need to understand what is MCSA. that is Microsoft certified solution associate, right? Earlier, there was a certification. You can get the certification from the Microsoft itself. You can get the global certification from Microsoft, and then you will be eligible to get a job in server administration. But now Microsoft has retired this certificate. Now Microsoft has come up with a new certificate that is AZ800, which covers both on-prem as well as cloud services. Okay, so if I'll go to Azure AZ800, see 800, right? So in 800, you are going to learn both on-prem as well as cloud technologies. So that is why we combined this course with Azure, so that you will be able to work on both the technologies in your on-prem as well as your cloud services. You will be able to learn. That is why it is a combo course, right? So if you want, you can just enroll for both MCSA and Azure, because obviously it is correlated. Later on, you already aware of that cloud is going to be the future, right? So everything is going to be on cloud. But in order to learn cloud, right? Obviously on cloud also, you are going to configure Windows Server over there. You are going to configure Linux servers over there. So until or unless you don't have the knowledge to run those services, so how you will be able to learn cloud, right? So that is why it is a combo, where actually you will first of all learn the services, right? And then you will be ready for the cloud technology. Right. Even I was also working on as an on-prem engineer earlier. I used to manage on-prem data center only. I used to manage online on-prem servers only. But now, in order to get the growth, in order to get a good career as well as good packages, salary packages, obviously we have to upgrade our technical skills. Right. So here you will learn deploy and manage identity infrastructure, where you are going to learn Active Directory, AD, how to manage domain controllers, how to configure an Active Directory, how to configure users. Obviously, guys, so if let's say you want that your organization users will be able to access the resources of your organization. So in that case, you have to make sure that the person should be the member of your domain, as well as the laptop you are assigning to that user should be the part of your domain. Then only that user will be able to use the services of your company. For example, you want that your users will not be able to use pen drive on their laptops. They will not be able to access the data of pen drive on their laptops. So we can block them. We can block the access by using um, group policies. You want to deploy some software. Let's say 100 users wants Google Chrome on their laptop. So are you going to are you going to install that software individually into each and every system? No, obviously no. So that thing we can do with the help of, again, group policy that can be deployed with the help of group policy. Likewise, there are multiple features that can be used in your Active Directory, right? That we will learn in AD. So in AD also, there are multiple type of domain controllers. Primary domain controller, additional domain controller, read-only domain controller, and then child domain controller. So how it can be configured in the real-time scenario, right? How companies works, how companies used to configure these things. So that we will learn in this module. Okay. So we will learn Active Directory and then FSMO roles. FSMO is major, right? So for interview point of view, if let's say you are good with Active Directory, you are good with the domain controllers, but for interview point of view, right? So the interview will definitely ask you for FSMO roles, because FSMO is the backbone of your Active Directory. Whatever the operations you are able to do in your domain controller, either it would be you're creating a user account, you are resetting their password, you are changing their group membership, right? You are creating a group policy, and that group policy is getting applicable to thousands of devices. How it is getting done? That is all because of FSMO rules, flexible single master operations. So there are 5 types of FSMO. What and all their roles and responsibilities are? how we can migrate these roles from one computer to one domain controller to any other domain controller, that we will learn under FSM rules, right? So why I'm showing this why I'm showing this Microsoft document? This is all because, see, if you want to attain a global certificate, then in that case you can go for AZ800. That is equal to your MCSA itself. So if you want a global certificate, then in that case you can follow this, and even we are going to follow this in our labs, so that you will be able to get the global certificate from Microsoft. Okay. Along with it, we have backup services also. If let's say your domain controller is down, right? So in that case, how you will be able to take the backup of your DC, and how you will be able to recover it in a new server. It is not only about domain controller, any of the service. If let's say you're running a DHCP server, you are running a DNS server, you are running uh, a file server. So for all these services, you can configure the backup, and whenever it is needed, you can restore it. So how to take the backup, how to restore it, right? So that also we will cover in this whole module. All right. Then we have this thing, mm, identity access management, IAM, single sign-on, or integrating your on-prem Active Directory to cloud Active Directory, which is nowadays called as Entra ID. So if you want to make the connectivity of your on-prem AD to cloud AD, then we have to use this tool called AD Connect, and it is going to synchronize our on-prem users to cloud. So how to set it up, that we will learn in this whole module. Okay. Then infrastructure as a service. This is part of Azure. So whatever infrastructure you are creating on your on-prem data center, right? The same infrastructure you can configure on cloud also. That is Microsoft Azure. Obviously, we are discussing here Microsoft. So Microsoft is giving Microsoft Azure for the cloud technology. So over there, you can configure your infrastructure, you can configure your servers, you can manage the networking, you can manage their configurations, everything you can do, whatever you are doing in your on-prem, the same thing you will be able to do on cloud also. Right. So let me just draw a diagram so that it will clear one thing. Okay. See. Guys, whenever you have any query, just raise your hand, right? And then you can unmute yourself. I'll take your queries. All right. Okay. So what is data center? So data center is basically a location where you are going to mount your servers or your network devices, right? So over there, you are going to have multiple server racks like this. Like this. And in these racks, you are going to mount your servers. Like this. You are going to mount your servers. So might be if you get any chance, by any chance you visited your data center, so over there you will be able to understand that how it is configured and how how it looks like. Right. So this is just only one, but in real time it can be many, right? Or it can be, let's say you have one organization, right? Let me take example of networking, right? So let's say networking has multiple branches across India or across world. right? So I want to make the connectivity of all the offices, of all the branches. I want to make sure that whatever the user I'm going to create in my Active Directory, it should replicate to other Active Directory also, other Office server also, or whatever the data I'm going to have on this location 1, that should be available on location 2 also. Let's say this is location 2, right? So in this location 2 also, I'm going to have multiple racks, and I'm going to have multiple servers inside it. So how to make the connectivity of this office to second one? How it is possible? How we can make sure that whatever the data uh, users are able to access from this branch should be able to access from this branch also. Replication, data replication. So for that, we have to make the connectivity. We have to use some network devices which will make the connectivity. Like you can use routers, right? You can place router between these two locations, which will make the connectivity of these two location, and then the users who are going to be available in these locations, they will be able to access the data. Now let's say these are the users who are sitting in location 1, and same way these are the users who will be able to, like, who will be there in the location 2. So they will be able to talk, they will be able to access the services of this location, as well as they also will be able to access the services of this location if we are going to configure a bi-directional communication between these two sites. So even in real time also we are going to see this, right? We have two offices, we have to make the connectivity, and obviously it might possible that location 1 is running with for example class C IP. Class C IP, for example, it is running with 192.168.1.0/24 CIDR, okay? And this location is running with class AIP, class AIP, and which is going to be, for example, 10.0.0.0/8. So do let me know. So if let's say these two locations are running with two different classes, will they be able to communicate with each other? Yes. How? By default, I'm just asking.
राउटर पे रूट रिलीज करने पड़ेंगे उसके बाद
Exactly. That is the second part, right? But I'm just asking, by default, will these two locations will be able to talk to each other? Obviously no, right? So we have to set up some routing rules. We have to define a route table so that whatever the traffic is going to travel from this location, it should be able to reach to this location. And then only we will make sure that the users who are sitting in the location 1, they will be able to access the data of location 2, as well as location 2 users will be able to access the data of location 1. So how to set up this complex scenario, this we will learn again in our classes. Okay. And then see, you are using router in your home, right? You are connected with your router right now. Your mobiles are connected, or your laptops are connected with your router, right? So you are able to access internet on it. Whatever the device is right now connected with your router, right? So on all devices, you are able to access internet. How? How it is possible? Okay, first of all, let me know. Internet is accessible on which IP, private or public? Private or public?
Public.
Exactly. On public IP, you are able to access internet. But if you will check the IP that you're getting on your laptops or your mobile phone, it would be a private IP. Then how using a private IP you are able to access internet? Even I can give you my example, right? So right now I'm connected to my Wi-Fi, okay? But if I'll check the IP that I'm getting on my device, it is of private range 192.168.0.101, and still I'm able to connect to the internet. Still I'm able to launch a Zoom and whatever, right? Exactly. That is all because of netting, network address translation. So actually, so this router, okay, so this router is directly connected with the internet. How? Using private IP. Sorry, using public IP. So public IP is configured on the WAN port of my router. If I'll check my public IP, so you can see this is the public IP that I'm getting, right? So using this public IP, ISP has configured NAT on this router, right? So this public IP is actually configured on the WAN port of this router, which is directly connected with internet. And now on this router, NAT is configured. Network address translation is configured. That is why whatever the device is right now, it is connected with this router, they are able to access internet. So how to configure NAT in servers, that also we will learn in this whole course. All right. Now distributing IPs. So in your organization, you are going to have thousands of devices. And those devices are able to get an IP on it. So for that, DHCP server is configured. DHCP services are configured. DHCP services are running in the back end. That is why the devices are able to get the IP. Now it might possible that some of the IP, some of the devices are getting class A IP and some of the devices are getting class B IP. Right? So it might possible in an organization, it might possible that you're going to have class A and class B. You must have you are going to have a network segregation in your organization. So in that case also, how to distribute these two different kind of IPs, right? And to make the communication of two different IPs, how we can do it using servers, that also we will learn. That is called DHCP relay agent, in which you can make sure that, for example, the users are sitting on floor 1. You can make sure that they should get the IP of class A, and the users who are sitting on floor 2, they should get the IP of class B. So that thing we can do with the help of server. Server has that capability. Right? And we have around 40 to 45 topics, guys, that we are going to cover in this whole course. Let me just go through with it, and then we will talk about the cloud. Okay, and I'll show you some real-time exposure. Okay, see. So these are basically going to be the topics that we will cover. And obviously, see, if let's say you want to configure server, right? So how you can configure the server? So in that case, you are going to use virtualization technology. Virtualization, like Hyper-V, VMware. Even nowadays, it is must, right? If you are going to have any kind of interview, right? So in that case, definitely they will ask you that whether you have the knowledge of virtualization or not. So how to use Hyper-V or how to use VMware? or how to configure the virtual machines from very scratch, that we will learn in it. Because obviously my whole topic, whatever topics I'm going to show you, right, that are totally based on real time scenario, that is totally based, that are totally lab based, at practical based topics, right? So theory, we are just going to cover a bit of theory, and basically you can say 5% of theory and 95% of practicals we are going to cover in this whole course. Because obviously if you have the real time exposure, if you know that how it works, how the concept is, what is the concept of DSCP, why it is work, why it is distributing the IP, right? So if you are able to understand the concept, then obviously you will be able to crack the interview. So that is why it is all based on a practical approach, right? And that for a practical approach, we will be needing any, any virtualization tool, basically hypervisor it is called as. So either you can use Hyper-V, that is a product of Microsoft itself, or you can use the product called VMware, or you can use Oracle VirtualBox also. That is totally on you. Okay, so I'll be showing you on both VMware and Hyper-V, that how to work on these two tools and how to set up the connectivity, how to make the connectivity of virtual machines. But whatever the VMs you are going to create in your Hyper-V or VMware, how they will be able to talk to each other. Or if you want to isolate them, that they will not be able to talk to each other, that also we can do. But for that, we have to understand the network connectivity in Hyper-V and VMware. That we will see in our upcoming lectures, in our once we will start our topic. So then we will understand it. Okay. All right. Let me go back. So introduction, VMs, right? How to create the virtual machine, how to use hypervisors. Okay. Then you have type of domain controllers, DCs. How to create primary domain controller. Every company is going to have their domain controllers. Without domain controller, you can't run any of the organization. Right? So in DC also, there are a PDC, additional domain controller. Now, obviously, guys, if let's say you have configured one primary domain controller and it is down, so you should have one backup. So in that case, you can configure additional domain controller. That is going to be the backup of your primary domain. So that if somehow your primary domain controller is down, the users will be able to access the resources with the help of additional domain controller, ADC. Likewise, we have child domain controller. Now it might possible. You can take example of Infosys itself, right? So Infosys has multiple branches across world, right? So the users who are sitting in Bangalore, how they will be able to authenticate? Or the users who are sitting in Delhi, right? So how they will be able to authenticate? So in that case, we can create their dedicated domain controllers, which are called as child domain controllers. So they are going to have their dedicated domain controllers. Right? So we can configure bangalore.infosys.com, noida.infosys.com, like that. Parent is going to be Infosys only. But inside this Infosys, right, you're creating multiple domain controllers so that you will be able to manage the users. Because in Infosys, obviously, in Bangalore might be there would be 50,000 users. Or in Noida, Delhi, there would be 25,000 users. So how to manage? How you are going to manage them? So for that, you will be needing a dedicated domain controller for your location. So in that case, you can go with the child domain controller. Then we have read-only domain controller, RODC. So it is also kind of domain controller, but it is not being used widely in the organization, but still we will cover it. We will see how it works and why it is being used. Okay. Then we have Active Directory, AD. How to set up the AD, how to create the user account, how to join a system onto your domain, how the users will be able to log in, right? So all these things we are going to learn in AD. Then we have domain and OU delegation. So you can create multiple organizational unit in your domain controller. For example, you have multiple departments in your organization, right? So you want HR users will not be able to access pen drive on their laptops, but IT users will be able to, right? then what you can do, you can create the dedicated OU for IT and account or HR users. So the users who are going to be the part of HR OU, in that case, they will not be able to access the pen drive. So we are going to configure policy in such a way that they will not be able to, but the user who are going to be the part of IT OU, they will be able to. So how to work with the organizational units, how to set it up, how to work with the nested organizational units also, that we will learn in this topic, right? Then RSET tool, remote server administration tool. In order to access your domain controller, right? So every time it is not needed that you should connect to the domain controller, that you should be physically present with the domain controller, then only you will be able to access it. No. With this help of RSET tool, you can install RSET in your Windows 10 or Windows 11 devices, and then you will be able to manage your Active Directory. That means no need to log in on the server. Directly you can access it using RSET tool in your Windows 10 or Windows 11 devices. So how to set it up, that we will see. And how even, like, as I mentioned, it is totally based on, just a second. So as I mentioned, it is totally based on a real-time scenario. Guys, please don't unmute yourself until unless you don't have any query. Let me just finish it up, and then you can unmute yourself. Okay. Or if you have any query, just raise your hand. I will take it. Okay, just give me 5 to 10 minutes. Let me just explain all those things, and then floor is open for you. All right, RSET, and then group policy. How to create a group policy? That is what I mentioned, right? If you want to block the USB access on the laptops, or you want that whatever the laptops are going to be there in your organization, they should have your company's wallpaper. Even if you are working in any company right now, right? So you will be having a common wallpaper that is named with your organization. So how to do it? That we can do with the help of group policy. Likewise, we have multiple examples that we will see in the topic itself. Right? I just mentioned 2 or 3. We have multiple templates available of group policies. Whatever is needed, we are going to apply it, and we are going to see how it is going to work in real time. Okay. Then AD Admin Center, then DHCP. How to work with the DHCP server, how to configure it, how to configure the gateways, DNS, right? How to configure scope, that we will see in the DHCP topic. Then DHCP failover. Again, if let's say DHCP is down. Sam, can you please mute yourself? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so if let's say DHCP is down, then obviously we will be needing a backup server. So in that case, we are going to configure DHCP failover. Right, and we will do the real-time failover, and then we will see whether this DHCP failover is going to work or not. Okay, then we have DHCP relay agent. That is what I mentioned. If let's say you have two different classes of IP that you want to distribute in your company, so in that case we are going to configure relay agent, and we are going to see the communication also. We will set up the communication of both the classes of IP, and then they will be able to talk to each other. That we will see in our relay agent. Then FTP, file transfer protocol, FTP, SFTP, right? So in company, you are not going to use pen drive in order to transfer the data, right? So that you can do with the help of file transfer protocol and SFTP, secure file transfer protocol. Then web server, how to host a website on a server, on a Windows server. Website can be configured on both Linux as well as Windows. But as we are focusing on Windows, so here we will see how a website can be hosted on a Windows operating system, on a Windows Server operating system. Okay, then we will see network load balancing cluster also. You have to make sure that your website should be highly available for your customers. Let's say there is a lot of traffic on your website. So at some point of time, if you are not going to configure load balancing, at some point of time, your server will stop responding to the queries of users, because depending upon the compute power, it will be able to respond, right? If let's say number of users are hitting your website, so obviously CPU utilization of the server would be high, and it will not be able to respond to the queries of users. So in that case, we will plan our website hosting in such a way that if let's say there would be a lot of users who are going to host our website, we will do the load balancing in real time. So that if one server is overloaded, automatically the traffic will be transferred to the server 2. Like that, you can add 32 server inside a cluster. And those 32 servers are going to balance the load of the traffic, which is going to be there for your website. Okay. Then we have profiles and folder redirection, then type of trust, network address translation, file and print management. You want to configure a file server in your company, a central file server, right? Oh, sorry, print server, right? So how to set up a print server, how to install printers onto each and every device of your organization using group policy, or manually also we can do, but we are going to do it with the help of group policy. Right. So how we can do that, we will see in the print and file and print management. Then VPN, virtual private network. If let's say you are working from home and you want to connect your Active Directory, so obviously your company is not going to allow your Active Directory on public access, right? So in that case, how we are going to connect? We are going to make the communication secure. And to make that communication secured, we are going to configure virtual private network, because VPN is going to add the tunneling of your traffic to your traffic, right? So let's say you are sending some traffic from your laptop to company, right? So let's say you're trying to access these servers from this laptop, right? So in that case, what it will make sure, it will encrypt your traffic so that no one will be able to track that what you are doing here, right? And it is now widely being used in the companies. Obviously now companies are giving hybrid options and companies are giving work from home option, right? So in that, obviously if they are giving work from home option, then these users has to connect the services which are running on the servers. So to connect these services, we are going to use virtual private network, VPN. Same thing is applicable for cloud also. If let's say you have hosted your servers on cloud, right, and you want to connect it securely, then in that case, you are going to use VPN services. Okay. So VPN has multiple types, guys, right? Which is you can configure VPN with NPS, VPN with radius server, that we will see. Then remote desktop services, data deduplication, how to apply BitLocker in your company, right? FSRM, file server resource manager, where actually you can apply the quota. Let's say you have a storage of 100 GB, right? But you want your users will not be able to use 100 GB. Your users will be able to use only 5 GB out of 100, right? So in that case, we can apply the quota, right? You want your users will not be able to upload any kind of video file or audio file on your file servers. We can restrict them. We can put the restriction that what kind of data they will be able to upload and what kind of data they will not be able to. That comes under FSRM. Then storage services, then FSMO roles. This is what I'm mentioning initially. FSMO roles are like, we have to understand that what and all roles and responsibilities of FSMO roles are. We will see under FSMO. Then shadow copies, then DFS replication and namespace, then WSUS patching, FSMO role seize and transfer. Seize and transfer is basically if you want to transfer one FSMO role to another server. So in that case, we have to use FSMO role seize and transfer command. Okay. Then AD migration or upgradation. If let's say you are running your Active Directory on server 2012 and you want to upgrade it to 2019 or 2022, right? Then we will then in that case we have to upgrade our on-prem AD without shutting it down. So that we will see in real time. Then Active Directory Federation Services, that is single sign-on, SSO. Then backup and restore. Then WDS, Windows Deployment Services. Then RAID configuration. Then AD sites and services. Then IFM install from media. IPAM, IP address access management. Failover in file server. Then DNS. Then forest and domain functional level. Then NIC teaming, and then PowerShell, and then Windows Admin Center. So these 44 topics, guys, we are going to cover in this whole module. Now let me give a pause. If you have any query, you can ask. Am I clear to everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, it's clear for me.
All right, that's great. Vijeta, that we will decide on the majority of students, right? So if let's say all are okay with Hindi, we can run this batch in Hindi as well. Okay, that is not a bar. We can do that.
Come again. You say I didn't hear you.
Okay, so Vijeta is asking that that they want this batch in Hindi, right? So I'm just explaining her that it totally depends on the majority of students, right? So if they all are okay with the Hindi, then we can proceed with Hindi as well. I don't have any issue.
Oh, me, I don't understand India. I'm speaking just for English and
Yeah,
French.
don't worry, don't worry. That
Okay.
we will do the both. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. Any question about topics, guys? Language is not a bar. No need to worry about language and all that. We will settle it down, but just about topic, or if let's say you want to add something into these topics, so that also we can do. So whatever topics we are going to cover, right? First of all, we will understand the concept. We will understand with the help of diagram, that the same diagram like this, we are going to create the diagram. We will understand it, why it is being used, how it can be configured, how it is communicating, right? So first we will understand the concept, and then we are going to go for the lab. Okay. All right. So just to show you one thing, that how you are going to work on server. So for example, guys, okay, this is my Hyper-V, right? Where actually I have configured these much of virtual machines. So these VMs are actually taking compute from my base machine. Means if let's say you're installing Hyper-V on this laptop and you are going to configure the virtual machine, then those virtual machines are going to take the compute from this laptop. That means if I have 16 GB RAM available in this laptop, obviously in order to run a virtual machine, we will be needing a RAM as well, right? So that RAM, it is going to consume from this base machine, from this laptop. Same thing is going to be for servers also. If let's say I have configured Hyper-V on this server, so this server or these virtual machines are using compute power from the base machine, that is this server. Okay. And as I told, now Microsoft has introduced Server 2025 also, but it is not available for the production, right? It is just a preview for now. If you want to see how it looks like, let me just turn on this machine. And even I can show you the Active Directory also, right? How AD looks like. Start. And even I'll show you one more tool, that is Windows Admin Center. Now, for example, guys, these are 5 to 10 machines only, right? But in real time, it can be 100 or 1000. Okay, but in real time, it can be 100 or 1000 of virtual machines. So if you want to connect them, or if you want to uh, install any role and feature onto that server, how you are going to do it? Think logically and do let me know. or if you want, I can draw a diagram. So from there also you will be able to understand. Okay, let's say I have these multiple servers available in my company. I am managing around 5,000 servers in my company. Okay, so if let's say I have these much of servers available in my company, right? And this is my laptop. So how I am going to connect these servers? If I want to connect these servers one by one, how I'm going to do it? Any idea? See guys, my sessions are going to be interactive. Okay, so every time, because I'm going to ask you, right? So whatever things we are going to do, so in upcoming classes also I'm going to ask, right? So you have to make a habit of this thing, right? So just think logically and let me know how I will be able to connect these servers.
First, we need to set up the LAN. Then we can only connect, I think.
Okay, LAN is there. It is now let's say laptop is also in the LAN network and these servers are also in the LAN network. These are on a single network. Then Windows uses which protocol to connect the virtual machines or to connect the servers or any virtual machine? Hmm? No. Which protocol? They're RDP. Exactly. Remote desktop
RDP.
protocol. RDP. If I want to connect these virtual machine, right, I have to do RDP from this server and then only I will be able to connect them. And I will be able to work on these servers one by one. But I can do one thing. I can make your job easy. No need to connect these servers. We can use a tool that is Windows Admin Center. By using that tool, whatever you want to install in these servers, you will be able to do it. Within a single platform, you will be able to connect these much of servers without doing any RDP. And if you want to install anything on these servers, you will be able to do it. You want to schedule anything, you want to schedule a task, you want that a job should run at 9 o'clock daily, you can do scheduling. You want to migrate these servers to cloud Azure, you can do it with the help of Windows Admin Center. Exactly, on-prem, right? So these on-prem servers, if you want to migrate these on-prem servers to Azure, you will be able to migrate them using Windows Admin Center tool. So even these tools also we are going to learn that how companies are using these tools, how companies are setting it up. Even I have configured it. Let me show you. So, acha, first of all, let me show you this server 25, right? It is same like Windows 11. So this server is already the part of my domain, which is nk.com. For now, need not to worry about how to add these servers onto domain, how to make Active Directory. We will be covering it from very scratch. So need not to worry about and don't need to confuse on this part. Okay. Okay, meanwhile it is getting logged in. Let me just go to this. Okay, this Windows Admin Center, guys, you can install it in your client machine also. In your Windows 11 device or Windows 10 device, you can install it. After installing, you have to add these servers one by one. See, so I have already installed. Let me run this application. Okay, this is Windows Admin Center. So once you will run it, it is going to ask you for the credentials. And then you can add your servers one by one. So for now, you can see these much servers are running for now. Server 1 is running, server 2025 is running, right? So I want to add these servers in my Windows Admin Center so that I will be able to manage them. Okay, so I'm running this application. Okay. And even from here, if you want to migrate some data to cloud, that also can be done. Okay, so see, you can see this add option. Just go to add and go to servers, add. And here you need to search for that server which you want to add. So I want to add the servers which are already the part of my domain. So I'll go to the search Active Directory and then I will search for server -1. See, this is server -1. I will select it and then add. That's it. So now this server is added. If I want to work on this server, I will double click on it. It will make the connectivity. And now if I want to install anything on this server, I will be able to do it. Even I will be able to monitor it also. Right? You can see this Azure backup option. You want to take backup of this server to Azure, that also can be done. You want to install any roles and feature onto this server, that also you can do. You want to take this system on remote, RDP, that also you can do. You want to shut down this system, you can do it from here itself. No need to connect server. Likewise, whatever the server you are going to have in your company, that can be added here. So if I'll go to add again, add, and I'll search for, again, search Active Directory, server -2025, search, and here I can see server 2025.nk.com. I will select it and then add. Done. Right now, again, I can double click on it. And whatever I want to work, whatever operation I want to do on this server, I will be able to do it with the help of Windows Admin Center. This is also being used in the companies. Now, how to set it up from scratch, that we will see in the topics itself. Once we will start the topic, over there, I will let you know that how it can be configured. Okay. Now, any doubt, any question till now? Is it running or it stopped? Okay, it is running already. See, this is how it looks like. This is server 2025. Right? As I told, it looks like Windows 11 only, but you can install whatever the roles you want to install, you can do it. For now, it is in refreshing state. Just wait for some time, and then you will be able to install any feature like Active Directory, DHCP, DNS, right? WDS, file server, print server, all these things you can install. Now, see, so I already have one primary domain controller. If I'll connect it, so whatever the employees or whosoever is going to join my organization, right? I have to create their account in my Active Directory. Then only they will be able to log in onto their devices, right? So to launch Active Directory, we have some shortcut command also. And even all these shortcut commands, I'll be sharing it with you so that you will be able to know that which shortcut you have to use. So even if you want to launch WSUS service or you want to launch DHCP service, so what is going to be the shortcut that I will that also I have a PDF for it. I will share it with you. Now you can see nk.com, and in nk.com I'm going to add users account. I'm going to create user account like this. So for example, Rohit, right? So I will create his account. So you can see its qualified, fully qualified name will be rohit@nk.com. And then next. and then next, and then finish. Now this Rohit, this user will be able to log in onto the devices which are part of my domain. So if you want to see that what and all computers are part of your domain, you can go to computers, and here you will be able to see that who computers. See client 10, server 1, server 2025, right? So these all systems are part of your domain. So here it is few, but in real time it can be thousands. So how to join these systems, how to set it up, we will see in the topic itself. Okay, so almost I have covered that what and all topics we are going to cover, right? What and all topics we will configure in our labs, and how it is going to be. For that, we are going to use virtualization technology, right? And even we have the labs. Networking also will provide you the labs where if let's say you don't have a good configuration of laptop with you, in that case you can configure your labs on networking labs also. So once you will enroll into the course, you will get the access of those labs where actually servers are already configured. You have to just log in onto it, and you have to start installing the roles and features onto it. That's it. Okay. And in case of Azure, Vijeta, migrations, yes, if you're going to enroll for Azure, then we will see migrations as well. Okay. If you're not going to go for Azure, then I will let you know the process, because in real time it is not possible. I will let you know the process, how it is going to work. Okay, or how to migrate it. All right. Now we are going to cover Azure also, right? Under Azure, we will cover around 9 modules where we will understand first of all what is cloud computing. Now see guys, we understood, like, see, to learn any kind of cloud, I'm not talking about Azure, even if you want to learn AWS or Google Cloud, right? So ultimately, until or unless you're not going to have the knowledge of Windows Server operating system or Linux operating system, you will not be able to work on cloud. Because in cloud also, they are going to have server, they are going to have physical servers. So onto those physical servers only, your virtual machine is going to be configured. So how to configure this? How to install the roles and features onto those virtual machine which are available on Azure? So here from MCSA, you will be able to get the concept, you will be able to understand the servers, you will get the handy experience of server, and then you will be able to work on cloud also. It will be easy for you to understand. Now, I told about load balancing, right? So same thing is available on cloud also. So now, if you have already learned load balancing in MCSA, it will be easy for you to understand load balancing in Azure also, because the concept is same. Console is going to be different, interface is going to be different, but the concept is going to be remain same. Okay, so in Azure we will cover 9 module, which will again it will take around 25 to 30 hours. Okay, so first of all, in module 1 we will understand that what is cloud computing, why companies are going for cloud, and if let's say you want to opt for cloud services, then what and all points you have to aware of, right? So we will understand what is cloud computing, what and all cloud computing models are, for example, public cloud, right? And then private cloud. What is infrastructure as a service? What is platform as a service, PaaS? What is software as a service? That we will understand, right? And then to configure the infrastructure, right? So you can see deployment model also. So cloud also has a public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, right? And then if let's say you are going for any cloud, obviously you must be aware of that what is going to be the costing. If let's say I want to create 50 virtual machine on Azure, so obviously it does matter, right? So what is going to be the cost if I'm going to run those services on cloud, right? So option I should what option I should choose? Either I go for public or private. because obviously private cloud is going to be like expensive if you will compare it with public. But private, in that case, only your organization is going to have the access of resources. See, yeah, you can see private cloud, right? So in that case, a dedicated infrastructure is going to be assigned for your organization. Sorry, right? Only the user or employees who are going to be the part of this organization, they only will be able to access it. Others will not be able to, right? This we will understand again in the topic itself. Likewise, we have multiple, cloud providers: AWS, IBM, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, VMware, DigitalOcean, right? So we are going to cover here Microsoft Azure, right? So Microsoft has multiple data centers across world. Depending upon your requirement, right? You can select the nearest data center. Let me give you a real-time scenario. Okay. So if I'll, no, not this one. Microsoft data, or let me write here, Azure data center, right? Azure data center. See, it is present in multiple locations: West US, China, Belgium, Malaysia, right? Denmark, Georgia, Indonesia, Taiwan, Austria, Greece, New Zealand, right? Multiple locations. Based on your requirement, you have to choose the location, and then you have to start on you have to configure it. Okay, so these are the new regions in which, like in Spain, Italy, Poland, Finland, right? So in these regions, Microsoft is going to set up its new data centers. Okay, and if you want to see the real time, let me, new regions, pricing, resources, global infrastructure, explore global data centers. So now what you're doing, you're going to configure your virtual machine on Microsoft data center rather than configuring it in your own data center. You are going to do it on Microsoft data center. So these are the real-time locations that for now these data centers are available. Okay, and even if you want to see it practically, let me do one more thing for you. Let me go to virtual Microsoft data center. Mhm. It's taking time actually. If you want to see a virtual data center of Microsoft, that how it looks like, right? I'll show you. See, right? So select enter the lobby. So basically, I just want to show you data center, right? So under data center, you will be able to see multiple racks, and onto those racks, you will be able to see thousands of servers. Okay, so let me go next. So here you will be able to see everything, right? That which Microsoft is using. So you will be able to see mechanical area, right? How how it is, basically electricity, right? And then power backup. So everything is going to be visible under mechanical area. Yeah, so here you can see. And then how it is connected. See, they are using windmills actually. They are using wind energy in order to run their servers and all. Okay. So let me go next, server room. Yeah, so this is server room, right? So if I want to explore it, explore. Yeah, so see guys, these are the servers, rack. These are the racks, okay? And these are the servers which are mounted onto it. If you want to
So it's
see, even I can show
so
you.
it's so it's real time.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm asking whether it's real time. What you are seeing
Exactly.
is
Yes, yes. See,
oh,
this is the server. This is a blade server. See,
okay.
so obviously these are the physical servers. If I want to configure a virtual machine, then in that case, my virtual machine is going to configure in one of them.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Likewise, we are going to see everything like real time, that how it works, how it is present, okay? How the communication, you can see generation 6, generation 7 project, okay? So if let me just close it. Yeah, so here you can see these are the cablings, right? Power backup, and then network cables are there, right? Obviously, without network cables, how they will be able to communicate? Explore.
But
Okay, even if you want to see, let me give you this link in the chat. You can
yeah,
get some idea.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so from here you will be able to understand the Microsoft infrastructure. There are multiple type of migrations available, Vijeta. Okay, I'll be explaining it. No need to worry. Okay. There is in-place migration, there is on-prem to cloud migration, right? There is multiple type of migrations that can be done. Okay, let's say you have servers running on VMware, you want to migrate your server from VMware to Azure cloud. That is also a type of migration. Okay, so we will I'll be explaining it in upcoming lectures. All right, so no, Vijeta, email for this thing, if let's say you want to learn Exchange, in that case, you have to learn Office 365, Microsoft Office 365. Okay. Uh, Let me go back to my PPT. Okay, and Azure also, guys, right? Whatever the modules are there, that is strictly based on the syllabus provided by the Microsoft. Be it be networking, or it would be security, or it would be infrastructure configuration. So whatever the topics Microsoft has mentioned for AZ 104, we are going to strictly follow it. Storage, right? Backup, disaster recovery, monitoring, right? Everything we are going to cover, and we are going to follow Microsoft syllabus itself. Because for 104 also there is a certification. And just for your knowledge, I'm a Microsoft certified, I'm a MCSA certified, I'm a Azure certified, I'm CompTIA certified, right? I'm a AWS certified. So I will even let you know how you can get the certification from Microsoft. I'll be helping you out with that as well. And how to book the exam, how you can give the exam from your home itself, right? So all this process I will be explaining in my lectures. Okay, so 9 modules are there, in which we have security, networking, under networking, how to secure the network, right? How to configure VPN, how to do load balancing, right? And then uh, um, how to do port forwarding, how to configure network security groups, how to configure the connectivity of two different regions. For example, I have configured my virtual machine. One is in India and one is in East US, right? And I want to make the communication of both the regions. So how we can do it? Okay. And then in security, we have firewall rules, how to block or whitelist any particular website, right? Then we have Azure AD, Entra ID, how to synchronize our on-prem Active Directory to Cloud AD. That also we will see in this module, Azure module. right? How to configure virtual machine scale set, auto scaling. Let's say your servers are running with 80% of CPU, 80% of CPU, right? And uh, you want that it will auto create one more virtual machine as soon as the CPU reaches to 80%. You want automatically one virtual machine should get created. We can do it with the help of virtual machine skill set. We need not to do any kind of manual task in it. We can just define it, and whenever any virtual machine is going to be 80% CPU, it is going to reach to the 80% of CPU. Automatically, it is going to create one more virtual machine that we will see. Multiple topics are there in case of Azure also. Okay, so all these PPTs, I have all the PPTs for all the topics. I have all the interview question for both MCSA and Azure, right? I have study material, PDFs, everything I'm going to provide you so that you will be able to crack the exam and you will be able to crack the interviews also. We can have some mock interviews also if you want. So we can plan 1 or 2 days for the mock interviews where actually I will ask some questions from you so that it will help you out during your interviews. Okay. So this is all about from me, and else rest of the information you will get from the networking team itself. Now, if you have any query, you have any question, you may ask. So shall I take silence as all clear?
Yeah,
All right, guys. So I hope the session was informative.
Yes.
Networking team, and you can enroll yourself, and then we can have the full-fledged classes from next week itself. Okay. All right,
yeah,
guys.
actually, a question. There is a question, the duration of the courses.
Okay, okay. So MCSA will take around 2 months, right? And Azure will take 1 month.
Both of them make it 3 months.
Exactly.
For each day during the week.
It is a
each day?
weekday. It is a weekday batch.
Weekday, Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday, exactly. 8 p.m. IST that is going to be the timings.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's good.
All right.
So meaning that tomorrow you are going on tomorrow.
No, I think the full-fledged classes are going to be from coming Monday. Okay. So
Coming
might be they
Monday.
have to just close the admissions and all,
Now,
and then from Monday
I,
itself we are going to have the classes.
okay, nice. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. So I'll see
Thank
you
you very
in
much.
the upcoming classes. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Good night. Take care.
Okay, bye.